Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militiaman and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to say Militiaman and Crew is here, and one of the biggest crew members is Ophelia, and she's just been waiting to be live. No, she's great, but one thing is that she doesn't come around too much. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not because she's all over my microphone. So bear with me. Give me a second. Yep, I'm back. So, hey, listen, we're going to address a little bit of information that today was brought up. But there are some people out there that are suggesting that Militiaman and Crew don't always have the right information and get things wrong. So we're going to just state to this is that, look, there was a question out there about an article that suggests that the budget's not passed and that the Iraq is not sovereign, okay? A shout out to the gal that Callie Lovebug. Thank you very much for asking the question. It's a good question, and we have some answers for that because basically what we have is that, firstly, the Council of Ministers, quote, we have the articles, Patreon, Discord, chat room, okay. Easy to search. Anybody can find this stuff. So if you really want to do your own research and you want to find the truth that is being said that's not the truth from us, I think it's time to get the truth. So the truth is, it says that the Council of Ministers says, quote, with entry into force of the federal budget law on 6/25/2023, that would be June 25th, 2023, the region will have fulfilled its obligations under the budget law. Okay, and another quote, which is, secondly, it goes on to say, it is quote, noteworthy that the House of Representatives approved the tripartite budget, the financial budget, on the 12th of this month, which was June 23rd, 2023. Now, forgive me, the 12th of this month was in June 2023. And in the official Gazette, it was published the last Monday, so the Monday preceding, so that the law enters into force. Okay, look, so both items as far as the budget law is in the Gazette. It's been said at the regional level, the 25th, but at the federal level, it tells you it was the 12th. So the bottom line is we're going to go with the law that was published in the Gazette that preceding Monday. So there you have that, covers that particular person's suggestion that we don't have it right. And then as far as the third part about being, or the second part, third comment, Iraq being sovereign, at the UN meeting, the UN Assembly meeting, I would assume that anybody that's doing the research, suggesting things that didn't watch that show at the UN with al-Sudani during his speech, during those types of things, they probably should take a peek at that and double check, because it says here, Prime Minister al-Sudani noted that we are interested in understanding the rapprochement and settling problems between Iran and the United States, which is a contributing factor to stability of the region, and we are trying to distance our relations from any conflicts in the region. He concluded by saying, Iraq will not be an arena for settling disputes and conflicts. We are a sovereign state. Get it? Sovereign state. And we maintain our relations in the region according to the principles of common interests and non-interference in internal affairs. So to answer your question, is the country sovereign? According to al-Sudani, who is the prime minister, yes. According to the Gazette, the 2022, 23, 24, 25 budget, 2023, 2024, 2025 budget has been published in the Gazette and it's in force. However, they haven't actually finished implementing it or spending anything from it. So take it for what it's worth, and thank you for asking those questions. But I'd like to also say is that if we're going to take it a little further than that, Article 129 of their Constitution states this: laws shall be published in the official Gazette and shall take effect on the date of their publication unless stipulated otherwise. Okay? The next one, if they read down, they can see that it says the Article 130 states, quote, existing laws shall remain in force unless the annulled or amended, right, in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. If it is annulled or amended in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. Has that happened? Is there an amendment in the Gazette? And the answer is, I have not seen one yet as of today. So we have to be careful on where you're getting your information, who's providing it, and how much due diligence is done. Look, Samson is in our crew. She's globally known to be highly methodical and professional. We have approximately, decades. I myself have been around for 10 years. The collective crew, we're talking 30 or 40 years of collective of understanding of Iraq, Dinar, and related topics. We've been around the block, and we support our information. And if you come into Patreon and you come into the Discord channel and you can do some basic searches, you can find all of what I'm saying tonight in this piece that I'm dealing with right now. So look, the truth be told, that's what we're talking about, right? Militiamen and crew do their due diligence the best we can. We're not always perfect. We're not always right. I'm reporting news. I'm reporting stuff that we believe that we have the best analysis, in our opinion, for you guys. So anyway, just keep that in mind when you read our stuff. Hopefully you really do enjoy it and you get something from it. I think there's a plenty of people out there that will agree that a positive outlook is underway. And so today, what do we have? Just briefly information. It's not a whole lot because things are going to be happening in the next couple of days. But it says the Finance Committee criticizes the delay in the budget. Well, that's a fact. We haven't seen the delay in the budget. We talked about that just a second ago. Well, has it been done? Yes, it's been in the Gazette. We know that for a fact. That is in the Gazette. But have they implemented and started spending it yet? No, they haven't. So now what they're saying is that let's see here, it's the Parliamentary Finance Committee. And be careful with the Parliamentary Finance Committee, everybody. They don't have a whole lot of weight. They have a whole lot of bluster. But when it comes right down to who makes decisions, it's the higher ups, and it's not necessarily the committee itself. It's the Council of Ministers. It's the Finance Minister. It's the Prime Minister. Usually those are the folks, and the judiciary system. Those are the ones that create the real-time data. That's what we should be looking for. Not your average Joe, an average article from a deputy speaker of the Parliament Committee, because sometimes those guys just don't have it. They have an agenda. They don't have it right, for instance, or they have an agenda, a political agenda. And so articles can speak loud, but yet they have no enforcement. Okay? So it says that the Minister of Planning and Finance, well, the Minister of Planning and Finance is pretty important. This week found out that the reasons for the delay, or they're trying to find out what is the reasons for the delay in implementing the budget, noting that the current government has raised the slogan of a national service government, and we will not allow the problem of delaying the disbursement of financial allocations to continue. So basically there's people that are just upset and ready to get the budget off and running. It says our insistence on approving the tripartite budget. So they basically said that they tried to do that tripartite budget, which is the 23, 4, and 5 budget, comes to enable the governments and ministries to implement their plans and programs and to avoid stopping funding at the end of the fiscal year. The Ministry of Finance must adhere to the terms of the budget and release petrodollar allocations to the oil-producing governments. So basically what they're looking for is the money for, sounds like, the hydrocarbon law. So they don't say that, but that's what it sounds like. And again, it's to be determined. It's my opinion. It goes on here, the Ministry of Planning should simplify the procedures for approving programs and plans to accelerate the launch of project implementation. So there's people out there that are looking for this to be taken care of. And so basically, as I see it, the pressure's on to get this budget implemented now. It's time to accelerate the launch of the project implementations. Look, the budget has been approved since June 25th, based off the region, but yet as early as the Gazette is concerned, they tell you that it was on June 12th. And remember one thing, they're talking about this is a budget, tripartite budget. It is retroactive to January 1st, 2023. Okay, so this is effectively, what we find interesting is that the finance ministry is having meetings today with the Saudi Arabia and in coordination with projects, because that's what this budget's about. It's about projects. And also the central bank governor, okay, were talking to their counterparts from Jordan. Okay, and what are they talking about? They're talking about implementation of projects. What are they also talking about? They're talking about power. You know, they have the Jordan, Egypt, etc., Iraq are hooking up with power, Saudi Arabia hooking up with power. So there's a lot of projects that are very expensive, and they need to have an investment budget to go along with that. And so why has it been delayed? Probably because there's something that they're not quite yet ready to expose, or they're just about ready to expose. They're going to have an international currency. They're going to have an international exchange rate, and the country is going to go. The country needs to have that final step to sovereignty. But did they say that they were sovereign? According to the Prime Minister at the UN, yes, they did say they were sovereign. So please, if you go look at the transcript of Soudani's speech, you'll be able to see that. You can come into Patreon and search for it for yourself. So enjoy that. It's going to be good to find it, because it makes you feel good when you actually go in and do some actual research and find the stuff to support what we've been saying. And you're going to say, wow, they really actually did that. So here's an interesting thing too, is that there's been some things that were supposedly done in the House of Representatives, and they were supposed to have that sorted yesterday, but they didn't. For instance, they've postponed and adjourned their meeting until tomorrow. So why is it that they did that? Why would the council adjourn a session until tomorrow? What is the topic? What is the precedent? I can't say for sure 100%, but I'll be honest with you. It's got to have to do something within the program that they're dealing with is about internationalism. So interesting that they decided to postpone the Parliament session out to tomorrow. It seems that there was a vote to be on international related items, right? So it just seems odd that they would decide to adjourn today. Why? What is it that may have set a precedence? We're going to find that out. But I'll give you some clues. As you go into our room, and if you do a search, find it says, I guess it's the 6th reading of the draft law on the Republic of Accession to the International Olive Oil Agreement. International Olive Oil Agreement. Okay, international business. That's a pretty big deal. It's a global thing. And 7th was the 1st reading of the draft law on ratification of the air transport agreement between the Republic of Iraq and the state of Qatar. Public transportation. It's trade. Got it? Okay, next thing. Item number, I think it's 8th. Report discussion, 2nd reading of the draft law amending the law on Iraq's accession to International Convention on Load Lines of 1966 and its amending protocol of 1988, amended in 2003, number 14 of 2020. Okay, so that's just a lot of, gibberish, but it's not. It's in text. And there, it's Committee on Foreign Relations, Committee on Transport and Communications. If you go and Google that, come into our room and you can find it, because I already did it for you, but you can do it on your own. It's about shipping. It's about transport, right? It's about the draft of boats coming in for safety reasons. So what you get and you deduce in the bigger picture is that you're going to get information that supports that Iraq's going international. You can't deny it. They're getting ready to do something, and we can see that. To suggest that we're going to go out to 2024 and we'll keep going out to 2025 and all these different things, it just doesn't make any sense. to me. And that's why I'm sticking with what we have in print. And some of the intel that we get on the ground from the locals, the things that they're being told, hey, we're in a really good spot, especially this weekend. To suggest that that's a farce, hey, well, that's just what people do. But it says also that the distribution of salaries for those that have that are covered by social protection are suggested to have been started today. Well, the first thing is that it's an electronic situation. It sounds like there's going to be a later situation because they're giving certain people salaries up front early before others. So that suggests that there's going to be a time of a rollout, if you will. And that rollout may have already got started. It sounds like the distribution of the salaries for those included in the Social Protection Network for the current month of October. Basically, the gentleman's added that disbursement was made through electronic payment tools, and any citizen included in the salary can receive his salary or her salary from the bank's network of branches spread throughout Baghdad and the governance, or from private exchange offices, or from wherever she is. So again, they're getting ready to do distribution. It's on a weekend. They said they were going to do it on a weekend. So we're going to find out what the end result is. It looks like they've been started. So what's the upcoming things are we going to be looking for? Well, first thing I'm going to be looking for is, was it a loan? We don't know. Did they have borrowed money to be able to pay these things? Because what they're not exposing is what the terms and conditions are. Does anybody have those terms and conditions? I don't think they do yet. It's not public information that we're aware of. The next thing would be is that what do we have coming up? We have a national sovereignty holiday for the country. Well, last I checked is that countries have sovereign currency, and they're going to have a sovereignty day, a national day, which is totally, completely different, as they've said themselves, that this is a different situation, even though that they have that date. I think it is the 3rd to be a national day. But they came out and actually explicitly stated that there's a different context to it. There's a different meaning to it. And so that's really a powerful day to watch. Then we have the information from the WTO, the World Trade Organization. They're going to have a talk with Iraq on a session on the 4th. So are there going to be terms and conditions that can be met? Sure. Do they need an exchange rate prior to? That's to be determined, but we're going to find out in the next few days. There's some really powerful stuff this week. So, hey, could this keep going and going and going? Well, we're gonna find out. But I'll be honest with you, the way it's looking is that there's specific things, there's contracts, there's countries. Everybody's at the table. Saudi Arabia, Jordan, the EU, the Development Road Project. You have the Silk Road Project, effectively. You have all the licensing, all those contracts for oil. You have all of that. And so where are they going to get all the money to do all this road construction? Where are you going to get all the road, all the money for the water and the sewer and all of those things? Where's that money going to come from when you have an exchange rate at 13.10? Those are a lot of things to think about. I think everybody should be pretty happy to see that Iraq is getting ready to be underway. And I'm glad you were with me this afternoon. And thank you for your time and being here. For all those new folks that just arrived, hey, hit that like button, subscribe, and if you like the content to keep flowing, we have options for a little bit of help. Thank you so much.
Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content, subscribe to the channel, or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much and have a great day.